Welcome to our channel. In today's video we're going to talk about psychology fact. 8 uncomfortable truths about people who hate being alone comes naturally and feels comfortable for introverts. While extroverts generally desire more social interaction but can also find solace in solitude at times. However, have you ever noticed certain individuals who strongly dislike being alone? They seem to constantly seek the presence of others and become anxious and uneasy when left their own company. What is the underlying reason behind this phenomenon? Although feeling lonely or isolated when alone is not uncommon, some people experience an overwhelming and debilitating sense of loneliness. Exploring this further reveals some uncomfortable truths about why certain individuals develop an unhealthy aversion to being alone. 1. They likely have a deep fear of abandonment. Typically, individuals who strongly dislike being alone often harbor a profound fear of abandonment. This fear commonly stems from childhood experiences where they were deserted by caregivers or loved ones. As adults, these fears manifest in various ways. Some individuals fear that their romantic partner will abandon them, while others worry about being left behind by friends or family members if they don't constantly engage with them. Coping with this fear involves actively avoiding solitude whenever possible. While they may appear outwardly sociable and extroverted, their constant need for contact with others is primarily driven by the desire to evade feelings of loneliness and abandonment. Unfortunately, this dependency on constant companionship can lead them into unhealthy relationships at times. 2. They struggle with low self-esteem. Individuals who despise solitude often grapple with issues of low self-esteem. They believe that their self-worth is contingent on being in the presence of others constantly. Regrettably, this mindset can engender significant relationship conflicts and generate substantial stress and anxiety when they find themselves alone. Those with low self-esteem commonly struggle to establish healthy boundaries within relationships. They may develop excessive dependence on their partner, leading to suffocating dynamics. When left alone, they are confronted with the daunting task of confronting their own thoughts without any external distractions. This situation can become truly disheartening if their thoughts are predominantly negative, resulting in a deep sense of desolation when alone. 3. They find it hard to trust themselves and their judgment. A disconcerting reality about individuals who strongly dislike being alone is their struggle to trust themselves and their own decision-making. This fear often originates from a lack of assurance in their capabilities or an apprehension of making incorrect choices. Consequently, they heavily depend on others to make decisions on their behalf, even when they are capable of making those choices independently. This reliance on others can establish a persistent pattern of dependence that proves challenging to overcome. 4. They have difficulty finding their sense of purpose and identity. When individuals struggle with being alone, it becomes challenging for them to cultivate a strong sense of self and discover purpose in their lives. Their focus is often directed towards fitting in with others and avoiding solitude, making it difficult to identify their own interests, values, and goals. In some cases, these individuals prioritize the needs and desires of others over their own, impeding the growth of their individuality. They may experience pressure to conform to the expectations of those around them or adopt the interests and hobbies of others, rather than exploring their own passions. Consequently, those who dislike being alone perceive themselves merely as part of a group, lacking a distinct identity of their own. They may encounter difficulties in asserting themselves or standing out, which becomes an obstacle in forming meaningful relationships or pursuing personal aspirations. 5. They can be overly dependent on others for emotional support. Individuals who strongly dislike being alone often exhibit excessive reliance on others for constant reassurance, leading to awkward situations. The inability to function well independently arises from their constant need for validation from others. If you happen to be the person providing this reassurance, you may find it burdensome to keep up with their incessant demands. 6. They have a fear of missing out. In the present-day society, the fear of missing out poses particular difficulties, exacerbated by the prevalence of social media and other technologies that enable constant connection and the ability to observe others' activities. Individuals who dislike being alone experience a compelling urge to frequently check their phones or social media platforms, striving to remain in the loop regarding others' actions. This behavior further reinforces their fear of missing out. For some, evading solitude becomes a paramount concern, compelling them to go to great lengths to achieve it. In doing so, they may sacrifice their own needs and find themselves saying yes to social invitations, even when they genuinely do not desire to participate. 7. They need constant validation and attention. It's widely recognized that individuals who strongly dislike being alone often exhibit a significant dependence on the validation and attention of others. The origins of this need can vary. For some, it stems from a fear of rejection, compelling them to incessantly seek approval as a means of evading feelings of inadequacy or unworthiness. Others may possess an ingrained longing to feel important or valued, resulting in a continuous craving for attention. Essentially, these individuals struggle to experience self-assurance unless there is someone present to offer affirmations of their accomplishments or provide a confidence boost. 8. They feel bored or unfulfilled without constant stimulation or activity. Individuals who harbor a strong aversion to being alone often experience a sense of boredom or dissatisfaction when faced with idleness. Their fast-paced, socially oriented lifestyle makes it arduous for them to adapt to a slower, solitary rhythm. They require continuous stimulation or activity to occupy their minds and struggle with restlessness or anxiety when lacking external engagement. Furthermore, these individuals tend to feel unfulfilled in the absence of others. This inclination likely stems from a desire to find meaning through social interactions, making it challenging for them to attain the same level of fulfillment when alone. They frequently experience a lingering sensation of emptiness or discontentment when not surrounded by others. While there is much more to delve into on this topic, it is important to acknowledge that there are various uncomfortable explanations behind why some individuals genuinely despise being alone. However, regardless of the underlying reasons for their aversion to solitude, it is crucial to approach their preferences with understanding and refrain from passing judgment. For those who struggle with being alone, it becomes imperative to learn effective coping mechanisms for managing feelings of loneliness rather than merely evading them. By doing so, one can avoid the potential pitfalls of becoming overly dependent on others for happiness and fulfillment in life. Conclusion: to summarize, the aversion to being alone can have underlying causes such as deep-rooted fears, low self-esteem, lack of self-trust, difficulty in establishing personal identity and purpose, dependence on others for emotional support, fear of missing out, constant need for validation and attention, and feeling unfulfilled without constant stimulation. It is crucial to approach individuals who hate being alone with understanding and empathy. Supporting them in finding healthy coping mechanisms and encouraging personal growth is important. Similarly, if you struggle with being alone, it is essential to address and overcome these challenges by fostering self-confidence, self-reliance, and exploring personal passions and interests. By doing so, you can cultivate a fulfilling and balanced life that doesn't solely depend on the presence of others. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new facts. Let us know your thoughts about this video in the comments section down below, and feel free to stay and enjoy it until the end. Also, make sure to check out our next video, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to enjoy psychology fact videos like this.